Okay, Lewis, how about the Steelers? They should sign Aaron Rodgers. Is that Monica McNutt?
That's not Monica McNutt. That's Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? I think this is the kind of place that Aaron's going to have to go in terms of if he really wants to maximize his potential. And by that I mean this. You are not going to tell Mike Tomlin what kind of offense you want to run. You're not going to tell Mike Tomlin what offensive coordinator you want to bring in. But you will get from Mike Tomlin someone who's a proven winner and has great structure. That's probably what he needs at this point in his career, as weird as that sounds to say.
You know, the interesting thing here, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, Adam Schefter said this really fascinating about a potential landing spot for the 41-year-old quarterback. Take a listen.
If the Rams couldn't get a deal done with Stafford, if they decided to trade him, a lot of ifs involved, then Aaron Rodgers, in my mind, would be thrilled with the idea of going to Los Angeles. And the Rams could probably get him at a lower cost than it would be for Matthew Stafford.
So you hear what Adam has to say. Obviously, if Stafford finds a new place, why does Aaron... Well,
you can do the basketball.
Okay.
Let's swap that.
Okay.
We're going to swap out.
All right.
We're going to talk about my team.
That's a power move, wasn't it?
I know the Jets.
Wow.
Listen, I host a show in New York. You might have heard of it. This has been a conversation every day. I got a lot to say about this.
Okay, if that's the case, then Lewis, why does Aaron?
I got to reset.
Yeah.
Reset. Okay, go ahead, go.
Okay, this is not McNuts that he's coming in on this.
I'm feeling a little bit McNuts right now, but yeah, go ahead.
Why, in your opinion, does Aaron Rodgers to the Rams make sense to you?
Look, like I said, when we were talking about Pittsburgh, he needs that kind of structure. He needs a coach who's going to say, hey, listen, you're not going to bring in your coordinator. You're not going to bring in your wide receivers. You're not going to run the plays you want to run. Sean McVay is as trusted as a head coach and play caller as there is in the NFL. He's a proven winner. He's a magnetic personality. He's a proven team builder and a proven head coach. And I think that system out there, we've seen what Sean's system can do. We've seen what this system can do throughout the NFL in terms of the heavy run, play action, under center type of system, which I think Aaron would absolutely tear it up in. He played good football last year. Things just got away from him because of the structure in New York. They let him do whatever he wanted to do. If he'll go to a place like L.A., I think you'd see him have one of the best seasons of his career.
Wow. Does he have the humility? I guess that's the question, Kmart.
That's a question Aaron has to answer. Because when you're a future Hall of Famer and you're used to things being your way, Lewis talked about the structure. That's what let everything get away. They brought him in to sort of build that structure, to help build the culture. So Aaron he's got to take a lot of responsibility for what happened in New York. That was on his watch. Now, I do believe going to a team like the Steelers, going to a team like the Rams, there's one voice in Pittsburgh. It's Mike Tomlin. So whether he'll have the best season, I don't know. I see it either being exactly what we saw with the Jets, or I see them finishing exactly like they did last year. I'm not convinced based on the diminished skill set that I've seen from Aaron, and I just don't know if he's going to have a monster season in Pittsburgh.
Han, you pointed out, you host the Jets show. You're here on
Talk about it, Alan. Talk about it.
You've seen him up close. Does he have enough left in the tank?
Yeah, on the field, skill-wise, we saw it at the end of the season that coming off an injury like that, it does take time. By the end of the season, he started to look more like a guy that definitely could be a starter in this league. When you compare him to some other starters in this league, he had one of the great seasons by a quarterback in Jets history, and they were awful. Think about that for a minute.
That speaks to what the Jets were.
Absolutely right. But one thing I'll say is that we're talking about, we always try to take him now and say, but in this situation, in that situation, skill-wise, he's got everything you need. The problem is, what's not in his skill set is conformity. And that is something that buyer beware.
That's exactly why we're talking about. Where he goes is important, not in terms of who do they have. Well, that's always important at wide receiver, what kind of running game they have, offensive line and all that. But it's the person that he's going to be working with, the person that when he walks in the building, he's going to see first, the guy who's going to meet him first. If it's Sean McVay and Mike Tomlin, I'll put some money on that.
Wow.
I'll put some money on that working out. If it's something else, some coach that's going to go in there and be like, hey, Aaron, whatever you want, nah, that's not it.
All right. No. We're going to talk a lot more about Aaron Rodgers and, of course, this a little bit later in the show.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.